All right, good morning. And just so everyone knows, so this is a do-over. I tried this flight yesterday, and I committed the cardinal rule. And what I mean by that is I rushed. And when you rush with these things, I was in a hurry. I didn't use ATC. So on this flight here, we're slowing down. We are at the gate currently, and there is one different thing, and I need to correct that in my notes so everyone knows what I'm using. So on this flight, we are not using world traffic, but we're using traffic global. I am testing it. This is my very first time using traffic global, and so I wanted to see, compared to I've been using world traffic for a while, but I wanted to give traffic global a try, see how it works. So far, what I can tell you what I liked about traffic global is the ease of installation. I had to download one file and download it, and there are some mods and things you can download from the forum for it, but overall I'm liking what I see so far. Okay, so simple, and also the how it comes in, and the traffic's not overrunning my gate. I noticed that I don't have to worry about them getting my gate. I even saw a setting where you can tell it to either allow collision or not allow collision. I thought that was kind of cool. I also like that I can pull this map up right now and look at my map. And if you see on there, I have traffic global flights are documented along with my other flights. So all these airlines around me really like that. So you see here it has traffic global airlines. So I think there are some features built into this one that I really am liking. So that's so far that's good. We're also using say intentions today, so that will give us our ATC. All right, let's get started on this flight. Do it the right way. Okay. First things first. We need a power source. Bring it down. Drop the battery guard. Nav. And some of the things that I do are just me, but yeah, battery guards go down, and APU, kick it, wait for the oil light pop up, and kick it again. While that's coming up, I'm going to go ahead and cut on my APU bleed and anti-collision lights. You definitely need anti-collision lights today, and position light to steady, logo light on. I want those lights on, and you'll see what, man, this is just like this is not nice weather. Not nice weather here. I don't know who made this livery, the SkyTeam livery. I think I downloaded this one from I think I got it from the forum. It's nice. Well done. It's kind of got like it's not a shiny finish. It's like almost like a flat surface finish, but it's really nice. Okay. World Traffic has sound, and you have to add it after, and I do admit it was kind of a pain to get it working. I think the sound, I never got the sound to work. Okay, so but I don't want to knock, I don't want to give them a bad star for that. Many people say that it worked just fine. It's just not my, just wasn't for me. I just could not get it to work. By the way, we're going to start the APU buses, which is right here. APU bus.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking off in just a few minutes. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure.
And no, we're not taking off in a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and drop the yaw damper.
Have a good flight.
Fuel left and right. I'm going to bring those down on that side. Let's look. Do we want to do anything here? No. I'm going to put up the window heat. I mean, kind of foggy right now. I thought maybe it'll help. Pitos are not coming on yet, and hydraulic pumps are coming on. Our elevation's already set for our landing airport, which is 8,350. Our current elevation is 7,025 where we are at this very moment. And I will say this, when I took off last time, I was confused by the I didn't, it's like you're surrounded by mountains, and in this particular environment we're in right now, we need to get up there quick. But it was taking me right toward a mountain, and there are moments where we only had 1,000 feet of altitude, and it was very uncomfortable. So I'm gonna, on this flight, we're gonna see what I need to do for that it not to feel that way again. It did not. Something just didn't feel right. And especially today, it's very. If you notice, it's very foggy. I'm not going to be able to see my actual distance. My visual distance is going to be very diminished. So we're going to really watch that real close on this flight. Where I'm going now, by the way, is to init ref, where we're going to put in our IRS, which we go to this page for either left or right side, both the same. Get the init ref. That's going to give us pretty colors here you need, and then we're going to go to the route. See flight plan request. I'm going to click that. I've already loaded my flight plan in SimBrief. I created it in SimBrief, and so we are going to load that. Okay. Brian, how are you doing this morning?
Doing well, Steve. Ready for a smooth flight today.
Say hello to all the listeners here and our passengers, and you can go ahead and get our IFR clearance.
Good morning, everyone. Let's get our IFR clearance.
Jose Maria Cordova clearance, Delta 7673. We'd like to collect our IFR clearance. We have Lima.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
We'll see if we're still going off for runway 19.
7673. Jose Maria Cordova clearance. Information Lima is correct. Cleared to El Dorado via the XP12.2 Bravo departure. Then as filed. Departure runway 01. Initial climb to 10,000 feet. Departure on 121.1 squawk 2252.
Departure runway has changed, and I think that's good because I don't think I have as many mountains right in front of me on that departure. So I'll go with that. Okay, so we are going to be departing on the Op S12A, something like that. transitioning with ISVAT, but I don't see ISVAT there. No, we're good. And I'm not putting in our arrival information yet. Okay, so there we go. RG11. Our departure is going to be 07. Bearing is where we're going to end up. So I'm going to go ahead and put that 07 bearing in there. And let's look at some information that we can go ahead and get in here. QNH is 1026 where we are right now. I have my altimeter synchronized, so when I change it here, it changes it there, and it changes it here. So one shot and I'm good. Okay, that's great. Great, great.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute. Clear to Bogota via the ISBAT 2 Bravo departure, then on file. Departure runway 1, initial climb 1,000. 11,000.
Initial climb is 10,000 feet for us.
Amerijet 1012 heavy. Amerijet 1012, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er when ready.
And we're cleared, and we're going to El Dorado. Okay, we're squawking 2252. 2252, and TCAS right here. I don't have TCAS activated yet, but we will have it activated soon. Okay. All right. Next step here. Now, if any of y'all been familiar with the Zibo 737, this is you need to do this. You're going to go here to your AV tab, not your AV tab, but your tablet. I'm going to go to weight and balance. I'm going to go to airside services. You notice nothing's done yet. We're going to go to load OFP. And we're going to do that right there. If you notice, some magic's going to start happening here. Magic vehicles appearing, but anyway, yeah, you know, I cut some slack on that. Go check my flight route on our information here. Let me see here. Y'all ignore me for a minute. Dispatch. I know what's wrong. This sorry guys. It's not you, it's me. So I didn't do.
IFR to Sierra Kilo Sierra Papa. Information uniform.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Clearance Walker 324 with information hotel. Request IFR.
If you look on the top of your screen, you didn't have the correct information for our flight, and you should now. It's not should be darkened. You should have our, and you'll be able to track our route, how our progress also. Okay. we need to load passengers. To load passengers, by the way, what it requires me to do is to knock the no smoking to off, on auto, whatever, and it miraculously starts loading passengers. I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Their passenger boarding. We're going to go ahead and load our information here, and we need our flight reserves information. We can find that on your Navigraph. Okay, so I'm going to go to view. From this screen on your Navigraph, you're going to go to view sim brief OFP.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call.
And our reserve fuel is 6,596, which would be 6.5. When we put that in, execute light comes up, and you can execute and one limit and take off. On this screen here, there's one setting here is your center of gravity, CG percentage. There's a place on the Zibo you can find it the easiest, which is payload. And our center of gravity for takeoff weight is 27.6. So we're going to put 27.6 right here. I'm going to go to the next page before, and you see where you've got your runway winds right there. I want to see if I can get that information. And I can. Okay. And our runway is 107.01.
Initial climb, 11,000. Departure, 121.1. Squawk 3634. This is Walker 324.
Looks like winds aren't very powerful. That's good.
With information, Juliet.
Right. For flaps, it recommends a flap setting of for takeoff of 5. You see here 5. I say 5. And now I'm going to bring in those numbers here. I'm going to click on these to bring in our V speeds, and I will show you something. If you're ever flying and you see this message, let me take these off. See if I can do it. No, once I've done it, I can't undo it right now. But you may say you see a message that says no V speeds right here. If you ever see that, it's because of this. You haven't gone through and brought in your V speeds and your with your flaps, everything. That's where that comes from. Okay. We're going to go to our checklist now. I'm going to do a cursory look over this. These are things that we've already completed on the checklist. Our captain's pre-flight, including, I don't do the oxygen test because sometimes when I do the oxygen test, I can't make it stop at breathing heavy. So I'm leaving that one be. So this is what you do for your captain settings. And before start, we want to be sure the flight deck door is closed, which it is. We want to be sure that the CDU display is set. Yes. N1 bugs really aren't relevant yet, but it's on here. So everything is set on the MCP for pushback, and the engine start will be our next part. And we're ready for engine start because everything is set here, including packs being off. This is where our pressure comes from, so the packs must be off. Isolation valve I have is set to on right now. And then the bleed is on, and the APU is running. And so everything is set when that time comes. We're going to go ahead, and I'm going to put Brian in charge of all of our comms and let him get our push and start clearance. Brian, you are in charge of all comms.
I'm on it, Steve. I'll handle all the comms from here.
Brian, would you please get our pushback and start clearance?
Runway 01, climb 10,000, departure
I'll request pushback.
Ground to
copy. Please, show me where you want to go.
4755.
Ground to copy. Tau is driving up.
Jose Maria Cordova ground, Delta 7673 requesting pushback. We have Lima.
Delta 7673, pushback approved. Face east.
I'm going to go and set flaps to 5 right now. 1, 2, there's 5. And we're setting RTO, anti-skid to RTO for reject takeoff just in case we need that. And our course directors don't have to be set to this, but just for spatial awareness, I'm setting my course directors to 010. You know, there's no I mean, this. Now I tell you what.
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
If you don't have those course directors set correctly when you're on approach, you will have a lot of heartache, and I'll show you that later. A lot of heartache. If you're wondering, I took the seats out. I'm going to put the yoke back, but I took the seats out because I can take those out in my settings, and I can see the back door and everything a whole lot easier in the cockpit. And since it really doesn't cause me discomfort, because I'm very comfortable right now in my chair, I'll leave it there.
Tau connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
So far, what I'm seeing on Traffic Global, I really
Flight
like.
attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of the aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Let's launch.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this flight. 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slab that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry and baggage will slow the evacuation.
Beautiful
All
weather
exits
out here
are
today.
clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the
Brian,
mask
you can
over
get
your
our
nose and mouth,
taxi
slip the elastic
clearance,
strap
please.
over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so
I'll
don't
get our
worry if the
taxi
bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case. Light vest in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then
Delta
opening
7673.
the
Taxi to runway 1 via Sierra 1, Sierra 2, Hotel Alpha, Alpha 2, Alpha 1.
and adjust securely around your
Runway 1,
waist.
Sierra 1,
As
Sierra
you
2,
leave the
Hotel
plane,
Alpha, Alpha 2, Alpha
inflate
1,
the vest
Delta
by pulling down
7673.
on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lab children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest. Be sure you fastened your seatbelt low and tight across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard in front of you.
We are following
The suite door,
Riva
ensure it's
out
open.
Aviaco.
See placard
Aviaco.
instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
You know, you see the actual exhaust that we're getting from it. It's kind of cool. I never heard the sounds for world traffic, but and like I said, they came up with a mod and the sounds did work, just not for me. That was just me. I did like I said, world traffic on Traffic Global. I did like the fact that I had to install one time, and I'm done. And I'm liking what I'm hearing so far, including the exhaust. It's kind of cool. Okay. And you don't want to follow a jet too close, trust me. I may have one coming up behind me. Let's see. Yeah, I do. Something else I'm noticing too is the traffic is using the required runway. I think on AI on the other one sometime I wouldn't always take off from the correct runway.
Delta 7673, contact tower on 118.6.
Switching to tower on 118.6, Delta 7673. Jose Maria Cordova Tower, Delta 7673, morning, holding short at runway 1, ready for departure.
Delta 7673, Jose Maria Cordova Tower, runway 01, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 01, cleared for takeoff, Delta 7673.
See the jet blast. It's kind of cool. Right. We have activated our chronometers. Flaps are set correctly. TCAS is active. And I should have the AI planes are respecting my distance. That's good. All right. Okay, once we get in position here, there's one last thing we're going to do. Okay, alright. Right. Packs back to auto. Isolation to auto. We're going to engine buses to the on position. APU off. APU bleed off. Takeoff lights engaged and position strobe is flashing. Engines to continuous and toga.
knots.
80 knots.
V1, rotate.
Rotating.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Switching to departure on 121.1, Delta 7673.
Flaps are retracted.
Medellin departure, Delta 7673, morning climbing past 8,000.
Delta 7673.
7673, metal and departure, radar contact. Climb via the SID to 12000.
Climb via the SID to 12000. Delta 7673.
LNAV, VNAV, Command A engaged. Why does it seem so much different on takeoff this time? It looks like I've got better clearance. When I took off from the runway 19, I felt like I was like right in front of a mountain. Is there a reason for that?
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our releasing altitude, let's extend pressure. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. Now reach an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in Sky Magazine in the seat pocket in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water and juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh meat items and all-day goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket.
7673, climb flight level 230.
Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles and Mercury Express card.
This is beautiful. This part of Colombia, beautiful.
You'll find that the screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertips. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
The after takeoff checklist, by the way, is RTO to off, gear to off, and
Delta 7673, expect the ISVF4 Echo arrival. Plan for descent in maybe 15 minutes. If you'd like to descend now, just say the word. Expect the ILS X-ray runway 14 right approach into El Dorado.
Expecting the ISVA-4 Echo arrival. Planning for descent in 15 minutes. Expecting the ILS X-ray runway 14 right approach into El Dorado. Delta 7673.
Alright, so we're gonna go arrival. 14 right. Let's see here. Make sure I heard her correct. Planning 15 minutes, expecting ILS X, runway 14 right, ILS X 14 right, ISVE. Okay. ILS X 14 right. ISVE. Execute. And at ref, we're going to come in on flaps 40 at 140. and 110.70 is our frequency. 110.70. One 10.70, and it also says here that 135 is our course heading, so we're going to put in 135 on both of our course directors. 135. I don't want to double check one other thing.
Thousand to go.
Okay, we're at 230. We're going to be hanging out at 230 until descent. Descent winds. Yeah, I doubt it'll give me descent winds. It's going to make me put it in. No, didn't think it would. And QNH for arrival is 1028. What's wrong? We kicked off of LNAV for a bit. That messed us up a lot. Nothing that I can't recover from, but it's going to add about another 50 nautical miles to our flight. Because we're 169 miles from the airport. That's alright. There was a discontinuity in my flight plan, and I did not correct it. So the plane did just what I told it to, which was nothing. So that was stupid. Okay. Alright, we're good to get back. It does throw off what my what ATC is saying on our arrival. Delta 7673, we were off course for about 30 nautical miles there. We're currently on a heading to ISFAT to get back on course.
Delta 7673, roger. Continue on present, heading to rejoin your flight plan route.
Clouds look great. Clouds. Okay, so what can cause that? Well, when you have a co-pilot, your actual pilot monitoring, that would easily have been like noticed and taken care of. But when you're multitasking, not always caught right away. By the way, we're putting anti-skid to 2 for our arrival, and we're going to check out our performance landing. Runway 14 right. 028. And brakes. Let's have a place for brakes. Shouldn't, but and our landing weight. Our gross landing weight, we're going to say 62.8. VREF is 40 at 5, so 143 knots. Delta 7673 can advise our arrival QNH.
Delta 7673, QNH 1028.
Gotcha. We're on it. Since we've got some extra time now, we're going to put in our descent winds. Since I know I have time. So descent winds here at forecast right here. So we're wanting let's see, 200. We're gonna want a 150. And we'll go all the way down to 100. Okay. For 200, it's 110 at 24. For 150, it's 110 at 19. And 100 is 100 at 107. Oh, QNH is 1028. And we're 58 nautical miles from top of descent. We're in great shape. Should be in pretty good shape. Let's look at traffic global. See what's going on. So I'm not positive what I'm reading exactly right now. Okay, I see general aviation aircraft. Not sure why that it's overlaid like that. Not sure. Sure, there's a reason. One thing that I got, albeit dinged for, is I turned my landing lights off late. Too late. Had them on, correct? I just noticed that. So. Yeah, oh, that's good. I do admit I love flying in South America for this reason. You always have pretty views outside. What flights do we have out there? Easy Fly, Satina, and Avianca. Let's see, one's at 33,000, 18,000. And 29,000. It's got the right. says here we're 32 nautical miles from top of descent. Delta 7673 requesting clearance to descend to 180,000. 18,000.
Delta 7673, descend via ISVF4 Echo for the ILS X-ray runway. 14 right approach into El Dorado. QNH 1026.
Descend via ISVF4 Echo for the ILS X-ray runway 14 right approach. QNH 1026. Delta 7673.
Starting a slow descent at this time. We would like to ask you to return to your seats, fasten up your seatbelts for the duration of the flight. Been a pleasure having you on board with us. Thanks for flying with Delta today. I can fly attendants. Go ahead and prepare the cap.
What's your schedule today?
Delta 7673, cross MQU at flight level 190.
Cross MQ at flight level 190. Delta 7673.
Attendants, please prepare the cab for arrival.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
soon as I know VNAV will follow my path, flight path, I'll go back to VNAV. Right, I've got it off right now. I'm descending on. I'm waiting for descending.
1,000 to go.
Looks like we're going to be curving our way into El Dorado. See here where we're going to be kind of making some maneuvers through the mountains, I guess. Switching back to VNAV. Come on, do me proud.
Delta 7673, descend altitude 17,000, QNH 1015.
Descending to 17,000, QNH 1015, Delta 7673.
Descending to 170. We'll hold there for just a little bit. But she directed us to do that because I think the flight restriction had 190. Okay. Gotta go back to VNAV. Come on, man. Give me ground. Just do what you're supposed to. I guess 70 nautical miles from the runway. So far, the body or the frequency, how many, just the volume for traffic flow, I'm liking. So, and I do like, just like world traffic, I can change the labels if they're annoying, but it's nice to know what I've got. What's that land Chile? I've got Avianca, I've got Easy Fly, got some flights out there. Flight level 701 there is 131. You have flight levels again. we're only 44 nautical miles actually from the airport. But it looks like we've got to do some transitioning to get in position to land. We're currently at 17,000, and we're just following our flight plan, following our arrival information. I need to put in a transition. 14. No, we're good. MVS is that ILS runway 14. Wait, this is wrong. We need ILS X. See what that does to change it. Yeah. Okay, so ILS X, runway 14 right, MVS.
Descend altitude 4,000.
Unable to descend.
Right. It looks like it's kind of cutting us maybe through some higher terrains, like through the mountains, whatever. And which would explain why I think it's taken us way further north of the airport and bringing us back down. Yeah, it's probably why. Right. There's another one of these flights, the earlier one that doesn't have, say, Intentions or X flight black box on it for a Delta, and that one there I was rushed, and you could tell. I think it really impacted the way I had to land. I mean, I landed at about 300 feet per minute. I landed late on the runway, and I rushed the descent because I was too high. We did a go around. This time I'm just hoping for us to get it just right. Okay, we've got a turn coming up at NOR 85. Let's see.
Contact Jose Maria Cordova Tower on 118.6.
Pull D. I'm hoping, like I said, I want to see my VNAV do a good job. We're currently at 250 knots at 17,000, and and then we'll be going. I think the next waypoint will want us to go down to 15,000, around 15,000, and we'll be there for about 14 miles, and then it'll take us down to 22,000. The runway is actually at an elevation of 8,300. So that just tells you, like right now, we being at 17,000, we're only actually like 9,000 feet off the run from in altitude. We're at a very low altitude right now. More of a turn here and turn us toward Pole D. And let's see, are you going to start descending? Or am I going to have to give you a push? I did have to give him a little push.
Descend altitude 14,000.
Descending to 14,000. Delta 7673.
Okay, we are, we'll go to Pole D, and then when we make the next left turn, that takes us on our final approach. See how high the elevation is here, especially where the airport is.
Delta 7673, descend altitude 11800. Turn left heading 140 vectors for the ILS runway 14 right approach.
Descending to 11,800, left heading 140 for vectors to the ILS runway 14 right approach. Delta 7673.
Heading 140.
Delta 7673, descend altitude 11,000, turn left heading 115.
Descending to 11,000, turning left heading 115, Delta 7673.
Delta 7673, 13 miles from Charlie Foxtrot 14 Romeo. Turn left heading 130, descend altitude 10800 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 14 right approach.
Left heading 130, descend to 10,800 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 14 right approach. Delta 7673.
7673, speed 230 knots. Delta 7673, contact El Dorado Tower on 118.1.
Switching to El Dorado Tower on 118.1, Delta 7673. El Dorado Tower, Delta 7673. Morning, we're established on the ILS approach for runway 14 right.
1,000 to go.
Delta 7673, El Dorado Tower, winds 120 at Niner. Runway 14 right, clear to land.
Runway 14 right, clear to land, Delta 7673.
2,500.
I still felt rushed on that final. Still felt very rushed, but right now we're at our VREF speed. Yeah, good. We're at 40 flaps. Wow. You're not supposed to have to ask this, but I want to ask it.
1,000.
Delta 7673, advise winds.
Delta 7673, winds 120 at Niner.
Shouldn't be that. This shouldn't be that. It shouldn't impact landing. Yes, what's up? Smooth it out here. Okay. See what I mean?
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. 400.
Can I get it back? No.
300. 200.
Man, I've got the wheel.
100.
It's rough.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 9.
Delta 7673. Unknown Delta 7673. Good morning. Cleared of runway 14 right. Ready to taxi to the gate.
I know it was wrong. Delta 7673. We almost had a runway incursion. We took off and we're going around.
Think rate. Think rate.
Gosh, I need time to think here. Whew, that was close. Right, I've got, we're at a heading of 0. Should be making a turn here.
1,000 to go.
Right, we're at 13,000, and I've got to regroup. Right, we're at 3. We're going back to AMS and restarting our approach.
Pushback approved. Face southeast. Approved. Face southeast. Land. Touch point.
I don't know if it was the vectoring that messed me up. Oh, who am I kidding? It was the wind shear that messed me up. Okay, that was bad. That was really bad. Delta 7673 experienced extreme wind shear on last approach. We're going around and trying another approach. I do see a problem. Traffic Global is taking off in the opposite direction on my runway. So what I'm doing now is AMVES is my next waypoint. I'm parallel to it right now, going a little bit further north, and then I'm kind of vectoring myself at the moment, and I'm going to be coming back in on AMPS. Delta 7673, we are lining back up with the AMVES waypoint to come back in for an approach. Delta 7673, we're coming back to Bog. We're going back to the waypoint Bog for a new approach.
Thousand to go.
Terrain.
2500.
XP12.2.1, taxi to runway 14 left via Alpha, Alpha 2.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
1,000 to go.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Thousand to go.
Delta 7673, just confirm we're clear for landing on runway 14 right. We're on final.
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Slide slow. Slide slow. Slide slow. Slide slow. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Delta 7673 experiencing wind shear again. I think we're okay though.
400. 300.
Slide slow.
200.
Think rate. Think rate.
100.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 9.
I couldn't get it on the ground.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Airspeed low. Airspeed low. Bank angle. Airspeed low. Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
Scare our passengers to death.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Not.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
1,000.
Don't sink. Bank angle. Bank angle. Don't sink. Don't sink. Bank angle. Bank angle. Airspeed low. Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
500.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
400.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
I don't know how to get past the wind shear on this one. You almost have to divert, I guess. I don't know. This is what you would do in real life, but
Bank angle. Bank angle.
400.
Take rate. Hold
300.
Hold up.
200.
Hold up.
100.
Hold up.
50.
Take
40.
rate. Take rate.
30. 20. 10.
I've never, in recent memory, had that hard of a time getting on the runway.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain
And I
has
don't
parked
think that was a very
aircraft
good
at the gate
landing.
and turned off the seatbelt sign. This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing. You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit Delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your SkyMiles account.
That was a pathetic landing. We're going to look at it real quick before I puke. We'll call this landing how to lose your job in one day. That is how. That's how it goes. Not okay. We're not turning that one in, by the way. Right. What's that? Okay, so in summary, Traffic Local did an amazing job today, and I did not. I did not. All right, guys. See you on the next one. I'm not deleting this. I'm leaving it. So if you want to see you kind of watch all the things I did wrong, you're welcome to. All right. See y'all on a good flight.